Yo, what's good, chat? What's good? What's good? Little throwback, on release throwback. I appreciate the super chats right off the rip. Two from Caleb. We need chat on screen. I thought I did it. Honestly, I thought I had did it, but I guess it's maybe not working. But yeah, you're right. We do need it. I could have sworn I had it done. What I did do though is any super chat so I don't miss any, because I definitely don't want to miss any. Um, the robot should read out your chat. Like I think it just did it then, but the music was overpowering it. But I'm pretty sure that's like a sure way for me not to miss anything ever. So I appreciate 10 from Nathaniel too for the much love. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Uh, yeah, well, not technically 24 hours. We still got. I'm assuming he's gonna go live around 9, 10 Eastern time, right? So we're not exactly 24 hours, but it's just like, it's just the title and the thumbnail. We're pretty close to 24 hours at this point. So that's why I put 24 hours. I saw someone say that Calico video ruffled feathers. I mean, look, like with that Calico video, right? I don't think I provided like I don't think I provided this is such a weird thing to have pop up here. Um Clavicular just crossed the line. This clavicular guy's getting fried, hey? Um yeah, with that Calico video, if you view your channel, view my channel, um it's crunching. You know, like I don't know if a lot of you guys saw this video, but I don't obviously I don't think I included enough information to say for sure that Jay-Z
Yo
definitely.
Matt. Did you already see the Nina Ross Rick Ross situation Turd Gherkin sent you?
I didn't see it yet. No, I didn't see it yet. Thank you, Christian, for the 5. And thank you, Certified Donnell, for the 60 cents. Thank you, bro. No, anyway, back to we can look at that though. Back to this, right? Like, did I prove for sure that Jay-Z has writers? No. Is this very loose? Yeah, I think it's pretty loose. But I do think what the video did was at least give a little bit of like at least raise some questions into who Calico is, what exactly happened, and more importantly, why is he showing up in Drake's zine, right? Because when I look at that, if it was just him alone, I maybe wouldn't have went so deep on this thing, right? But it's the fact that the people that he's paired on screen with all had writers, right? So, like, to me, the theme of that is the writers thing, for sure. Let's see. Everyone on this page, even the Calgary Flames, like, I was pretty surprised to learn that that logo is kind of like who actually drew it is kind of up in the air. Some people say one guy, some people say this girl drew it. So, like, just having that, and obviously Drake put this here for a reason, right? Why does he have this Calico guy? Now, what I found out after is I thought Drake's team made this snippets thing. I don't think he did. I think there is an actual Calico rapper from Memphis named Calico Jones, but that's not the track that's correlated with it. The track that's correlated with it is the Calico from Brooklyn. And I also found it obviously it's interesting that it showed up only a month ago, right? It pops up a month ago, and Drake used the exact same image. Like he took it from there, right? That's where it comes from. On top of this box with the tape. Like this looks like if you really look closely, it looks like the top of a box where like you could see the tape, the CD's line on top of the box with the tape closing the box up. So maybe this is an actual real CD at one point. It's not online. It's nowhere to be found. And even with that said, the Brooklyn Calico, there's nothing about him really online. Like trust. I've looked. I've tried to get a hold of him. He's not big on socials. He did change his name. He did change his name to Calvin Ray eventually. But he didn't put out much music through that either. So At a minimum, like, am I gonna say 100% Hove had a writer? No, definitely not. And like anyone that knows me in this channel knows I'm a massive Jay Z fan, right? But I think we can admit that it's interesting he included this, and it's there for a reason. So it is what it is, right? You're a big Jay Z guy, so that, yeah. See, someone in the chat said it. Like, people know I love Jay Z. So the only other thing is with this is maybe this guy didn't write for Hove, and maybe he wrote for Bleak, right? Maybe that's why Drake. Maybe that's as far as the connection goes. He was signed to Bleak, right? So we go Calico, Calico Untitled, right? So two tracks come up. This one was a bonus track, right? Off the Diplomats Volume 2 mixtape. The weird thing about this tape is there was like a couple different versions that went out. Like, if you go on streaming now, because they did add it to streaming, it's a classic tape. There's only 16 tracks, but that was because of like probably sample issues and different stuff like that, right? But there was another version that hit the streets, and it only had, I think, 18 tracks on it. But there was like a promotional version that went around that had a track from Calico, and it was at the very end, and it was called Bonus Track. This is one of the only tracks that I could really find online from back then that like had his name on it, and it was just his track. Because most of the stuff that I could find, it was him hopping on mixtapes, like giving, like just showing up as a guest on a tape, right? But yeah, so maybe it is just Memphis Bleak. Like, maybe that's as far as this goes, because even if this is a real, even if this CD is actually a real thing from a guy named Calico Jones in Memphis, hold on, let me do this. Even if it's real, wait, hold on.
Could that Calgary logo be a Tate McRae feat? She's from there. Drake also shouted her out on Small Town Fame, and she said Drake is an idol for her.
Yeah, hold up. Let me just let the other
Look
one
up
read.
Jay-Z Camplo feeling it. Jay's been doing it.
Okay, I'll look that up. So yeah, Justin with the 5, thank you. I heard a few people say that they thought that the Calgary Flames logo might be a Tate McRae thing. I'm just not sure where Tate McRae fits in. I guess she could fit in really anywhere if you look at how on Over My Dead Body, how he used Chantel Kraviasic for like the hook or the chorus, which is one of his best songs. So I guess he could use her. He could use her for something like that, right? He could. And yeah, I know I seen I thought I saw a video of her actually doing like a cover of Drake. She is Canadian. Is Calgary Flames logo could be.
Can I win the giveaway, please, bro?
Yeah, I'm just actually trying to get in touch with Nocta OVO right now to see exactly which items they're going to be given, because basically what was said to me is like just use, like, I'm trying to like really bring it down, like see what is the budget, because basically they just told me, yeah, pick whatever and then let us know, and then give us the addresses and give us the names, and we'll ship it out to the winners. But I want to know exactly what, like, I can't just like go on there and pick like $10,000 worth of shit. So I need to know exactly what are you giving? Like jackets, hoodies. I was told we got a Iceman special edition sweater that's gonna be entered. So I'm just waiting to actually define what's in the giveaway. But like what I know from my side is obviously we got the really dope Drake action figure, like that. It's like around this big. It's really dope. I actually kind of want it myself. Like I wouldn't mind having one. But it's a handmade thing from a dude out of Toronto, and that's coming from Friday Ricky Drake, because Friday is joining me for the stream, so he's putting that up. Then we've got like some really nice Drake paintings and like all sorts of stuff for the giveaway. So it's gonna be really dope. Oh, I know what's coming now.
Remember the waste basket emoji, 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 waste basket emoji,
Oh,
waste basket emoji,
yeah.
waste basket emoji, waste basket emoji, waste basket emoji, waste basket emoji, waste basket emoji.
Yes, I do remember, but
All I
please.
need is to win is the over varsity jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember the wastebasket. I do remember the wastebasket emoji, but please don't do that again unless we're listening to Screwface Jean. Because that was fucking hilarious at the time. It's like, stop it. Bro, the voice is so bad. Yeah, no, one time Mark is bringing a callback to like we were reacting to Screwface Jean, and I think he was dissing Drake, and like we were getting like all these super chats come in with the wastebasket emojis, and it was hilarious at the time. But yeah, try not to do that too much. Try not to do that too much. Can I win the giveaway? So yeah, that's the giveaway. I'll pay to turn
I'll
that.
pay to turn that off. Smiley face emoji.
Facts. Facts. Uh,
All good. Last one's laughing 0515.
no, 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 guys, don't spam. Don't spam.
How you listening to Iceman on stream without copyright?
Hold on.
Ice emoji. Ice emoji, ice emoji, ice
No,
emoji, ice
no,
emoji,
no,
ice emoji, ice emoji, ice
no,
emoji, ice
no,
emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji, ice
no.
emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji, cold face emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji, ice emoji.
Okay, I gotta turn that off. I gotta turn that off. I gotta turn that off. It's ruining the stream. I hope I just had to shut it off. Uh, yeah, we can't keep doing that. And I didn't have a thing to like. I gotta add a sound thing so I can manually turn that off and on. I just had to turn it off completely. Shout out to God Emperor though. Thank you for the two. How are you gonna listen to Iceman on stream without copyright? Well, I think what's gonna happen is basically I'm gonna react to it right on YouTube, and then after I'm sure the stream is not gonna stay up. The stream's gonna get hit with a million copyright flags, and the stream is just gonna go down. But I think for the time being, I think we'll be okay to react to it live. It's just that stream is gonna just disappear. It won't stay up. But while we're doing it in live timing, I think we're okay. I think we're okay, right? For like the Iceman episode number 4, I think we'll be pretty good. Now, I do think he will be including 3, 4 songs from the actual album. Like we're gonna hear music from Iceman, like the album in the stream. I'm sure of that much, right? I'm sure of that much. Otherwise, we could just take it to Kick. So if we got any issues on YouTube, we'll just bring it over to Kick. Let me see. Listen to Buried Alive Part 2. We did a few days ago, Gucci Boy. We did a few days ago. Do a Kick live from Nathaniel. Yeah, like I think Kick is our best alternative. I think Kick is our best alternative for sure. So yeah, back to this Calico stuff. I mean, I'm getting kind of ripped. Like if you look at, it's interesting because I think it's a polarizing video because like half of the people are saying they like it. Like I mean, 25% are saying they love it. The other 25% are kind of saying like it's compelling, like the connections, like it was decent detective work or whatever. And then a good 50% are saying like it's a complete reach and that there's no way that Jay-Z has a writer because they've heard and seen him Go in the booth and just go off top. He famously never wrote shit down. Um, and look, I'm a big Hope fan, so I agree with that. But I don't think that absolves him from, as long as he's been doing this, saying it's added a realm of possibility that he might have had help here and there. And I did find it interesting that Calico was in the studio with them, especially when he was just like some dude under Bleak, right? But maybe he's just chilling. I don't know. I do think it was a decent. I thought it was a decent video with some good connections, but I guess we'll have to see. Now, do I think that Drake is gonna do some like expose of Hove on the album? No, like I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the biggest thing with this album is obviously the music needs to be dope, but I think it's not really about what's on the album or like some secret expose on the album. I think it's what Drake does after the album. I think it's what Drake does after he fulfills his last album with UMG. What is he going to do? What I think he's going to do is I think he's going to put himself in a position of major power within the music business. I think he's going to be doing something uh, 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 industry altering, like if you will. I do think whatever his next step is, it's going to be something major, and it's going to be coming around his album. I don't think Iceman on May 15th is the last thing we get from Drake, even in the next couple months. I think he drops Iceman, and I think he drops something after. And then I think he drops something after again. I think after Iceman, we'll get several other projects from Drake. Maybe like a summer compilation album or something. But like I said, it's what comes after Iceman that really is the most interesting to me. Because, Drake has been with UMG his whole professional career. He has been under that umbrella. He's been with them 17 years. His whole career. Since 2009. And at the time, Wayne, he decided to sign with Wayne. But at the time, there was a huge bidding war for Drake. He could have went wherever he wanted. He was meeting with Warner. He was meeting with Sony. He was meeting with everyone. They were giving him Rolexes and flying him out and treating him like a king and, trying to give him a taste of what it would be like to be with them. What Drake did was he took a risk on Young Money, because at the time Young Money wasn't anything really. But he decided to go with Wayne because Wayne was the first person that really had reached out, and he just there's one of those things, you go with your gut feeling, and it would be interesting to see what would have happened with Drake had he not signed with Wayne. I'm not saying I think he would have found a way regardless, but it's one of those butterfly effect things, right? Where it's like that one thing that happened in your life, that one decision, had you made a different one, could have altered the trajectory of your life. I think about shit like that sometimes. It's interesting. Let's see. Five from Hey Hype. Thank you, bro. Tomorrow will be Iceman. Can't wait for your live stream. Great work yesterday. Can you do a deep dive on how K-Bots got voted top 20 vocalist? I don't think that requires much of a deep dive. I just think all these people who are making these lists, they're either afraid not to put Kendrick on it because they're afraid of backlash, or they're just putting them on it at this point because they feel like they have to, or they put them on there because they wanted to drum up controversy, because there's no one on this planet that actually believes Kendrick is a top 20 vocalist of all time across all genres. Like there's no one in music who agrees with that, right? So it's one of those things with these lists where I feel like they got to put something in like that. Like they got to mix something in there that pisses people off and drums up controversy. Thank you, Matthew FND, for the follow-on kick. Harry Reid, I love Iceman episode 2 and 3. Pick me for the giveaway, please. So with the giveaway, right? Some of the items are gonna be like you need to give a super chat, right? Like it could be like 50 cents or whatever. You'll be entered the minute you give that super chat. You'll be entered to win all those items, right? But then there's also things for people who are just in the chat. Like you don't need to like there's going to be gifts for people or prizes for people who just are in the chat dropping ice cubes, whatever you want. The minute you put a message into the chat, you'll be eligible to win something, right? And I'm going to make sure to put I'm gonna make sure like to spread the prizes out, right? Like I'm not gonna have only the best prizes for the people that do super chats. No, I'm gonna have like there'll be like a Nocta jacket or something like that, or a Nocta windbreaker for people just in the chat, just engaging, right? So I'll make it fair as possible. Um, thank you to Suma for the sub. $2 from Jay Crawford. Really crazy. He actually was dissing Jay. So like again, I'm not 100% convinced, but it's just a theory. Like I'm not gonna ever sit here and be like, yo, my theories are right and your theories are wrong. Like no, it's just my own thing, right? So sometimes the theories come true, sometimes they're completely wrong. So it really depends. It really depends. Shout out to Cloud for the one. Thank you. I'm not sure if you meant to do a chat. So there's been a few things, and what I will say too, Chad, is like I feel like I haven't really gotten a chance to enjoy or get excited about this album because number one, I've been working the whole time, but I'm not really getting to enjoy it as a fan as much as I used to, just because of all the content I'm doing and stuff, right? So I kind of envy you guys who are just sitting back and like waiting for it to come, um, because like I haven't even had a chance to really think about it. But there's been a lot of stuff on the timeline. There's been a lot of stuff on the timeline. We've been seeing some new things, so I just wanted to go through some of those things with you guys, because I haven't streamed in a couple of days now. So let's see. We got Rick Ross practically doubling down after almost being in tears, loaded drunk a few days ago. We'll definitely go over that. Let's see. What did Jared got on here? Like I know there's been some behind the scenes of the Iceman. Okay, here. So now he's there in his blue. Drake continued filming another music video inside the CN Tower. I don't think it's another music video. I think it's just one video. Now it's blue. Right? So here's the scaffolding and stuff. I was wondering how he got up there. Or like if you can even go up there. But this looks like scaffolding to me. It is. That's definitely scaffolding. Is it scaffolding? Yeah, it looks like it is. I'm not sure what it's like up there, right? Because I've never been. Oh. Yeah, I don't think normal people can go out here, right? Like, he's inside that fucking thing. So, like, maybe they set this up just so he could do it, right? This is going to be one big music video, I think. Who Kid says Lucian Drange had people find his phone number. This is something that I shared. That was pretty crazy. We talked about that already. What else happened in Iceman over the last couple of days, chat? Oh, the Kendrick Lamar situation. I don't want to make this too much about him, but I definitely found it really interesting that Not Like Us and Luther, Not Like Us and Luther kind of disappeared. Now they're back. And they re-uploaded it. Let me see. So now they've deleted the ones they re-uploaded. Let me see. That was really strange. Like, so here's the original, right? And it specifically says, let me see. The music video is by Kendrick Lamar performing Not Like Us at Kendrick Lamar. Right? It used to say, I think it used to say like licensed to Interscope, correct? So did they change this or am I bugging? Because once I saw this happen, right? Like the video went down, I thought to myself, well, there's no way that Kendrick can just do that himself because it's tied to the label. It's tied to UMG. It's tied to Interscope. So I don't think he could just take things down whenever he wants. Not like that, right? So this was really fishy. Did anyone ever get to the bottom of what happened with this? Because, like I said, I wasn't really on the. You said what's the dirt? Interscope contract negotiations. I mean, maybe it's possible that they only licensed the record to him for the first 2 years or something like that, and then it's his. I don't know, because we're getting pretty close to that 2 year mark, right? The video dropped July 4th. When did the song drop? The song dropped what? May 4th? May 4th. Yeah, May 4th. When you drop a zine video, look, man, that's why I put out the Jay-Z thing, because the video of the zine is damn near 2 hours long. It's way too long, and it's like I'm still gonna put it out, but I knew I didn't have. Once I started editing it, I knew there's no way I can get it out by May 14th. It's fucking 70 pages of and, like, to some people they might look at it and think like, oh, this is just nothing. But when you actually look into the details of it, there's a lot in that zine, and I just don't want to put out a subpar video and rush it. So what I did is I took the Jay-Z, because I feel like the Jay-Z thing that I found was pretty interesting. I was like, okay, maybe at least I'll give people something, So I did the Jay-Z video very quickly, knowing that there's no way I'm going to get it out by the 14th. I tried. Trust me when I say I tried. But I just don't want to rush it. I don't want to rush it. Like I feel like I didn't really build the channel by doing that. Cause, like, I could play the algorithm game, like, and like something drops and within 48 hours put out a video, and maybe the videos will perform better if I did that. But I didn't build the channel that way, so I'm not gonna sacrifice the quality just for the sake of getting it out. And in fact, once Iceman drops and whatever happens later, this is the part I'm kind of pissed off about, though, because there's a lot of things in that script that I wrote that I feel like is going to happen in the next coming weeks. And if these things come true before I put the stuff out, I'm kind of like, damn. But I do think, putting it out after the album, it gives even more context into a lot of the visuals. Like, maybe there's some stuff in there that we're gonna find out. He was kind of foreshadowing through the zine. But I just can't get it out in time. Ricky Hernandez with the 10. Thank you so much, bro. Iceman cometh with the Ice Cube emojis. Facts. 5 from Yana. Charlemagne alluded to Drake hacking Kendrick. Jess Hilarious said he paid somebody to take it down. Bro, do you know how difficult it would be to hack someone's YouTube channel of that magnitude? Like, you don't think, as many people that hate me, don't you think someone would have hacked my YouTube channel by now? It's not like, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to hack someone's YouTube channel. Like, Charlemagne is an idiot if he believes that. This is like, $2 from T Chill. Have you looked at the whole into the Who's the Giant post? No, I didn't look into that. $5 from Joshua. Shout out to my bro Addy. Iceman, the biggest in the history. Get icy or get iced. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Like, I mean, we're so close now at this point. There's a closer look at Drake's custom hearts Iceman hat. There's a lot of this Chrome Heart stuff coming up. He really loves the Chrome Heart shit, eh? Because I remember in the zine they had these crosses too. These Chrome Hearts crosses. This is Ben the Don. The hat and the jacket. Closer look at Drake's. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, my whole timeline, this bar connects on the surface. The 8 years later, we understand the entendre. Calico wrote for Jay-Z. So a lot of people are rolling with my theory too, right, on the Drake side. But I'm not like 100% ready to dive all in on it and say that, like, it's 100% that he had writers. But, if you ask me, I think Drake knows that a lot of people in the industry have used writers. And, like, he even said, you guys, Casper the Ghost, Drake. He says it right here. You boys reaching new lows, letting me take the rap for that Casper the Ghost shit while y'all finding all the loopholes. You dudes is too cold. So, and people are saying that's directly at Ye. I don't think that's directly at Ye because Ye, it's not a secret. It's not a secret that Ye has employed writers. He's done it from his very first album. Like, nobody ever sat back and was shocked that Kanye got help. It's been known, right? So I don't read into this line as being at Ye at all, because people know that he uses writers. This is it's about someone else. It's about someone else. Is it about Hove? I don't know. I think it's about a whole bunch of people. People who are in Drake's position, Hove's position, like, these massive artists, pretty much anyone in the music business who gets to a particular level seems to acknowledge that a lot of people do use writers in one way, shape, or form. Jesse, thank you for the subscription. 5 from JX88. Thank you, bro. Do a video of, like, today is May 14th. Here are all the things I think will happen in Iceman in case people don't see this before May 15th. That's not a bad idea. After stream, maybe I should do, like, a little recap video. Good idea, bro. Good idea. Maybe I will do something like that. 5 from J. Carlo. Have you seen the rumor Kendrick planning on rolling out an album with giant posters? What is that about? Like, what do you mean? Someone said something about giant a minute ago. I didn't know what they were talking about. What do you say? Have you looked into Who's the Giant post? Who's the Giant? What's that all about? This just came out. Is Kendrick Lamar dropping mysterious Who is the Giant poster leads to speculation? Who is the Giant poster has appeared in LA, New York, and Atlanta, and it has led to questions. No way. I told you guys a long time ago, man. Like, this guy is he fucking hates Drake, man. He's petty. Like, he hates Drake. So earlier this week, Kendrick made all kinds of headlines. Some of his music was taken off of Apple. GNX was taken down. His diss track to Euphoria was taken down. Not Like Us and Luther, prompting speculation about what might be going on. In the end, all the music was re-uploaded to its rightful platforms. The music videos are back on YouTube and Apple Music. That said, Lamar has sparked all sorts of conspiracy theories about him stomping on Drake's upcoming Iceman album. Hip-hop fans are on edge right now, and this was a full display on Tuesday as Who is the Giant posters began circulating in LA, Atlanta, and New York. Upon scanning the QR code on the poster, you are brought to whoisthegiant.com. There is a 30-second video on the page allowing users to sign up for updates. Chat, does anyone... Who is Giant? Be the first to find the Giant. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean... What? Okay, Giant. Wait. That's not Melrose right there. Damn, this is the first I saw this, bro. This is what I mean, man. Like, I'm not able to even be spending time on the internet right now because of the work. Like, this is the first I found out about this. And this is, like, pretty big news. Okay, so what are the conspiracies around this? Like, I find it interesting, too. It is clear that this is a rollout of some sort. Agreed. However, we don't know the artist and we don't know the genre. Despite this, fans simply could not help themselves. On X, some suggested that this video was eerily reminiscent of the aesthetic used by PG Lang. Others were firm in their notion that this is all one big teaser for Kendrick's next album. Meanwhile, those were some fans who attempted to be reasonable in their speculation. For instance, some think this could be either Nas or even Jay-Z. I mean, Jay-Z, it could be Jay-Z too. I got a feeling it's Kendrick. You'll know when it's time. Everyone's saying it's Dot, but watch, it might be Hove, which is honestly just as exciting. Huh. Not gonna lie, this video on the website looks like some PG Lang shit. I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough to it to say that it's 100% Kendrick. But we gotta keep in mind the timing too, right? Like, if Kendrick's gonna pop out at any time, I was always expecting it to be not exactly when Drake dropped, but I did think he would put some music out, new music, in the proximity of Drake, within the week or weeks after, or within the same month. That I've always said. You know, Drake is at the point too where, one, he's suing his label. Two, he's clowning and actively trolling his label while rolling out the album. So if any of the stuff that Drake said is true in his lawsuit, that the label conspired against him and wanted to, take his head off and diminish his value, then what better time than now? Why stop now? Like, if there's anyone who wants to take a chip off Drake right now, it will be UMG Interscope. Especially if he's leaving, which I think he is. So be expecting some bullshit in some way. Who is the giant? I mean, Kendrick calling himself a giant is pretty ironic. In like the physical form. Jay-Z. Oh shit. Jay-Z giant. Jay-Z is frequently described as the giant in hip-hop. He's been labeled a giant due to his diversified investments. In 2011, an incident, a giant inflatable rat was placed outside. Okay. Jay-Z, the fourth giant. Do you guys think this is Jay-Z, or do you guys think this is Kendrick? If I'm going to say right now, I think it's Kendrick. I think it's Kendrick. Personally. But when is he dropping? Because, like, bro, if we get new Kendrick and Drake at the same time, the world is going to go fucking insane. It's going to be like 2024 all over again. It's already starting to feel like that. Let me see here. Let me see a couple super chats. Have you seen the rumor Kendrick planning on rolling out an album with giant posters? Yeah, I have now, for sure. 5 from Akashi. Feels a bit off. Rollout was cooking up, but then Drake just kind of went silent. I was expecting this week to be a crazy rollout-wise. Guess not. Well, I do think Drake has done a good job of I mean, clearly I think there's a lot of hype around the album at this point, with the stuff he did with the ice sculpture, the explosion, the zine, all these little things we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks of him filming at the CN Tower or driving around with like an ice blocks on the truck. I think all that stuff fed into it, but we got to keep in mind that Drake said that he's kind of sick of doing these cookie cutter rollouts. So I'm not surprised that we didn't get a single or like the album cover art or anything like that yet because he kind of said he didn't want to do it that way. So it is what it is. Late Night Lou with the 5. Put a timestamp on your zine drop discoveries. You deserve all your flowers, brother. That's true. I should go through it. I should go through it and like here I could show you. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. It's just so much stuff, and there's like 20,000 words in that thing, so it's a huge it's a huge project. It's an enormous project. $2 from Why Tragic. Take Care, Born Sitter, Good Kid, Mad City, or 808s and Heartbreak. You're saying all. You're asking me which album would I pick over Take Care, Born Sinner, Good Kid, Mad City, or 808s and Heartbreak. Take Care. It goes for me. It goes Take Care. It goes Take Care, Good Kid, Mad City, and then probably Born Sinner, then 808s. And I love 808s, but that's just kind of my Take Care first, though. I listen to Take Care the most of those five that you gave me. Shout out to Dylan Phillips for the subscription. T Chill. Looks like an AI company using them as promo. Do you think that's true? That's not out of the realm of possibility either. Like, where one of these companies is just trying to profit off. Like, there could be some AI company called Giant. It could have nothing to do with music. You never know. $2 from Hey Hype. The only real giant is the Iron Giant. Big facts. Thank you, Sir Cananicus, for 9 months of membership. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you for the loyalty. Shout out to Matt. Keep killing it. Personally think it could be Tyler or someone random. Possible. 102 from ESD Mark. Can you talk about my answer me on that first ring theory? Is that I didn't see a theory on that. Answer me on my first ring. That was what Drake put as the caption, right? Let me see. Brian Rosedale with the 5. What do you think are the confirmed features and ones that you want to see on the album as well? And also, you're the best you breakdown YouTuber for real. Thank you for the compliment, bro. Much appreciated. Features that I think are on it is Future. I think Future's definitely on it. I think Low Shimmy is definitely on it. I think those are the only two that I'm really confident about. I think Pressa might possibly be on it, limitedly. Who else do I think is on it? I mean, there's been a lot of theories over who the features are. Did that Insider Hub dude say anything after? I do think Future's on it. I think Future and Drake are gonna have a bop. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see here. He calls himself Source now, right? Did he ever drop anything about who's the features? This is an interesting thing. Look, Auger said there has to be some sort of algorithm billboard rule fuckery he's abusing here to get at Drake's numbers this week. That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. He re-released the music. I don't think like that old music is really gonna compete with Drake's numbers this week though. Kendrick dropping GNX all over again when people have been listening to it for the last year and a half. That's not gonna, or Not Like Us. That's not gonna impact Drake's numbers. Like this whole thing right here with the Not Like Us and Kendrick reposting it. Very few people went back to this to like listen to it again. Like it's not anything substantial to the point where it's gonna affect Drake at all. Like this kind of came and went. It was weird for a day, but people moved on. I'm just being realistic. When we post information about any other artist, this is proven correct days after you guys never had to say. But when it's about Ryan Nice, who took money to promote Kendrick disses, never fails. What did this guy say? Iceman versus Machine. You can't disown your label publicly and not. Oh yeah, okay. So I didn't even know this guy reposted me because I said I honestly don't think Kendrick can personally remove these things himself. A lot of these records and videos are tied to Interscope UMG. He doesn't have the power to press that button. I didn't realize this guy reshared my tweet, but he said it's Iceman versus the Machine. You can't disown your label publicly and not expect these games to be played on the week you release your most anticipated album ever. Yeah, this is exactly what we just talked about, right? The position that Drake's in, you can expect even more fuck shit because they were trying to kind of force his hand. If what he's saying is true about the battle, they're trying to devalue his stock to get him to sign for a lesser amount or devalue his stock for where he goes on to next. I don't think Drake is staying with UMG. And when this guy said Iceman versus the Machine, that's literally the main that zine that Drake put out. That's like the main theme of the zine. It's Drake going against the Machine, and it's not just him showing how it's affected his career, but he's showing it how it affect people like Biggie and Pac, and famous people like Brigitte Bardot, and basically the main thing about the zine is that the Machine can do with your image whatever it wants. Like if the Machine decides that the image of Drake or the character of Drake, it's best to paint him as having like this ghostwriter and throw it all over the place for that time, they'll do that. If they want to make Drake seem like he's the top artist in the world, they can do that. If they want to push and elevate a beef and exaggerate things around Drake, they could do that. And that's what they've been doing for years. So I think that's why a big part of why when you look at his zine, he says Iceman by Aubrey Graham. It's because Aubrey Graham is the person we never really got to know. We got to know Drake, and the image of Drake has always been out of his control. I mean, I seen a picture of his dad in there. And what I thought about with his dad was, Dennis, no one really knows much about Dennis, but like kind of the thing that got pushed, even though he's close to Drake, because he's close to Drake, he kind of got painted as this like terrible father. And like, I heard a YouTuber say it the other night. She was like, there was a picture of Dennis up, and she said, this guy's a terrible father. He's a complete piece of shit. And really, that's kind of ignorant when you think about it, because we don't really know Dennis. But that's kind of what's been fed to us. Like, Kendrick and Pusha T both use Dennis as a weapon against Drake. And that those things stuck for a lot of people. So I think the Machine thing, yeah, there's parts of the Matrix. There's a lot in that zine, and really zines in general. Like if you look over to like what zines were used for culturally, like people who did graffiti back in the day use zines to share their art and like share where they're gonna do tags, and like they're kind of outside the system. Obviously, like a lot of marginal communities use zines, like the punk rock scene, the gay community, political stuff. Like what they use zines for was to share information that the media often wasn't telling you or outright lying about. So the whole thing is fascinating. It is Drake versus the Machine, and it's bigger than Drake versus Kendrick. It's way bigger than that. Way bigger than that. When we post information about any other artist, so like one of the things that I looked at, and this was my take on this, right? And like I feel like there's many ways you could look at this image. But I will explain to you guys over stream. I found this interesting. Like when we thumb through this, right? Like right off rip, we got this woman with the insanely large tits, right? And really, she acts as like once you go through the zine, you'll see that she really acts as a metaphor for what the industry does to these artists. Like when you look at this image, that's all you see her as that's all you see her as this woman with massive tits, right? She's been reduced to just that. In fact, the breasts are bigger than her entire body, or like her whole thing, right? So she's kind of a metaphor for what the industry and the media can do to artists. They can do whatever they want with your image. Um, let's see. Let me see here. I'll show you the image. So this one's crazy. We talked about this one already, and all these kind of come in like a cluster, like things like this. This is showing the machine and how it works, right? And what it did to Biggie and Tupac, and what it does to your image, uh, uh, without any of your own control. Same what happened with Brigitte Bardot. She's kind of just like the woman that we saw with the big tits, right? Like that's a metaphor for someone like her, who was from the very beginning, when she got into show business, she was cast in a movie that over sexualized her, and then that's all she's ever known. Even when she left show business behind at the peak of her success, really, and her career, she quit. But that still doesn't stop the machine from doing what it wants. There's still things all the time coming out about her, right? And that's kind of the point. Same thing happened with Aaliyah and Lil Kim, right? But really, really, this is the image I wanted. That the secret teaching of music, this is a whole other thing. This is an actual zine that I found. This is a real zine from back in 1979, I think this came out. But this one here is the most interesting one, right? So what we got here is like there's a whole lot going on in this image. First of all, so they're inside a room, and at the top you see the yin and the yang, right? The symbol, and I think this symbol here is what really is kind of premise for the whole thing. Like a yin and yang is like everything must be balanced, right? Like where there's hot, there's cold. Where there's good, there's evil. There's birds that fly in the sky, there's fish that swim. Water is wet, land is dry. So like there's always that balance in life, and God, or the creator, however you want to say it, he kind of designed the world to be that way. So when you see Adam and Eve right here, Adam and Eve is obviously a man and a woman. So that's balance. That's what balance is, right? But what I think what this image shows you is what happens when that balance gets skewed. And basically in this, it's good versus evil, and evil is winning. Evil's winning, right? The Joker is obviously a villain, and anyone who's familiar with Dragon Ball Z, this guy's called Perfect Cell. He's a villain. They're both kind of controlling the world. You see ha ha ha's on the wall, and there's even says Joker's Wild up here. Joker's Wild is like a type of card game where if you get the Joker card, you could basically make that card anything you want, right? So you could change the rules however you see fit. Basically, this is showing you that like the game is not set up for good people to win. The game is set up for the machine to win. For the evil people, right? Like you see Batman here, he's completely disheveled. He's lost. We got a jester here. A jester is like a performer or entertainer. You could see he's completely colorless. Like he's completely tapped out, all creativity gone. I believe the jester is even dead. And then, when you look at a character like Perfect Cell, what Perfect Cell does is he takes the talent from other people. He takes the power from other people, right? So he's a pretty good representation of the record labels, who they're not creative. They're nothing without the artist, right? They absorb the artist talent, they absorb the masters, they absorb the rights to the music, and that's how they thrive. Um, so this is kind of how I looked at this whole thing. You see the apple's on the floor, but it doesn't have a bite taken out of it. So like this is basically saying that the truth is right in front of you the whole time. The truth has always been there, but no one's really took a full on bite out of the apple. And I think that's kind of what Drake is looking to do. But the game is not set up for people to win. That's how I see this. That's how I see this. You know what I mean? You say Dirt has so much potential to be a great streamer, but does dumb shit. Dumb stuff like what? Like what I'm doing now? So yeah, like I think like there's so many ways to look at this though. Like you could apply this to the music industry, or you could apply this to politics. You could apply it to the government. You could apply it to a whole lot of ways, a whole lot of ways. But I think the main thing is the machine is laughing at you as an artist when you sign that contract. It's never stacked in your favor. The cards are always stacked against you. You aren't ever going to win, basically. You know? So that's how I look at that. So when he talks about Drake versus the machine, that's basically what this whole zine is. Really. Like you see right here, I mean, the boy, Iceman, one against all. There's a lot to this image too, but I'll save that for the thing. Even things like this here is this is really what the industry, like this is the inside of the system here, right? It's evil. It takes people like this woman here and completely over sexualizes her. She loses her image. You know, she's just a clown inside the system. It even did the same thing with Mickey Mouse and Sonic and Jesus and Spider-Man. You see this clown right here got an 8 ball in his mouth. And you know that saying like you're behind the 8 ball? Like being behind the 8 ball means you're at a disadvantage. Like you're behind. You're at a disadvantage. Like you can't really you're behind the 8 ball. So in this case, like the minute you sign a contract with one of these labels, you are behind the 8 ball. It's not set up for you to win. It's set up to do this to you. Right? Most people would look at this and probably see nothing. But all these things do mean something. 100%. And then we got this thing here, which we've already talked about. Let me go out through a few super chats here. I don't want to miss any. Let me see. Let me see. Man, I don't want to miss any of these. Hold up. What do you think are the confirmed features? So, okay, I did that one. Multi-M with the 2. Dirt, I sent you 2 possible zine connections in com. Okay. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Multi-M, I got to get your number, by the way, bro, because, you know, you're always, like, hit me up on IG. I'll give you my phone number, bro. $2 from Karma is Speed. Giant is K Camp. Look at Purple for Matter. Is that who it is? You got to be kidding me, man. I actually kind of forgot about him. Oh, K Camp. You're talking about like Kendrick's camp. Let me look at Purple Matter. Purple Matter. So for anyone who's not familiar with this Purple Matter account, he's kind of exactly like that Source Insider Hub. He's another insider. He's gotten some things right. Oh, it's K Camp, like literally K Camp. Ah, that's crazy, man. See, like the theories run wild. Like the theories run wild, but hey, props off to K Camp. Props off to K Camp for the rollout. I mean, that's smart. We knew damn well if Kendrick wasn't going to come with a title called Giant. Come on, man. Come on, man. But well, thank you, Karma Speed, for clearing that up. I guess if this is true, all those things are about K Camp. Who the fuck is he signed to? Who's K Camp under? Whatever happened? Interscope. Okay. He's under Interscope. Okay. Fair enough. Fair play. Igito Cambray, thank you for the sub, bro. Much appreciated. 2 from Chip Chopper. If it's Kendrick, would you consider it biting Drake? Not really. I mean, I hear that. I hear that from a lot of people saying like, oh, if he drops around Drake, you know, he's just proven that, you know, he's proven that like he needs Drake to sell and shit, right? I could see that argument, but I just genuinely think he hates Drake. I just think he hates Drake. Drake is his enemy. And when it comes to your enemy, 48 law what's the 48 laws of power? Completely crush your enemy. Completely destroy your enemy. So no, I see it in a couple different ways. $2 from Nico Bang. Dirt, why don't you drop the zine in parts? You know, that's what my girlfriend said too. She's like, put it out in parts, like 3 or 4 parts. But I feel like I just I feel like I almost got to do it as one full project because there's a lot of times in the script where I'll be like, okay, now we're on like page 40, and I'll be like, remember this from page 12, like this links to that now, like same with I just did it just then for the woman with the big breast, right? Like making callbacks and stuff like that. And if I do it in 4 parts, I feel like it just doesn't connect the right way. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm overthinking it. $1.02 from Mark. Thank you. Did you think Answer Me on That first ring is tied to the Family Matters ring? Possibly, but I do like Answer Me on the First Ring. I think is more about phones because there's been an undeniable theme with Drake around phones. Even in that zine that we just opened, there are several phones again, and we've seen a lot of these phones. Like we see him right here. Once again, he's on a phone. At the end, what's even more interesting is at the end of the zine, the phone is made into a bomb, right? So there's something connected to phones and recordings, definitely. Where is it? It's one of the last pages. One of the last pages. And look, and we got Casper the Ghost. We got Casper the Ghost again, right? We just talked about you let me take that rap for the Casper the Ghost shit, right? And then we got the Ghost right here. Ghost stories. But right here, you see these phones. And apparently these were like set up to make some sort of bomb or something. This is like someone told me in a comment or something. I didn't even get this far yet, bro. Shut Up and Love Me by Karen Finley. So there's definitely a big theme around telephone calls. Like Nokia is a record I've always felt like had a layer of meaning to it that we just never figured out yet. 10 from Matt McGrath. Thank you so much, bro. Dude, OVO Sound on X just posted the Duppy cover. I think your theory is right. Also, did they really? Because that's kind of crazy. Because this is like the official account. Oh. Ah. That is the Duppy cover, right? Damn. That's actually pretty interesting. Right after I drop it, too? I don't know, man. Like, yeah, he literally says on there, right? I bring Calicos to the Alamo. And then he says, like, here, let me go to that part of my video. That's actually pretty fucking crazy. What are people saying underneath it? Are people, like, making that connection? I want to see my brothers flourish. Interesting. Duppy. What the fuck does this mean? Nothing bigger than the owl. 6 God coming. The boy finna be dissing these dudes. What's the dirt? A Duppy reference. I guess I'm going to reshare this just because of the lore of it, right? Repost. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Like if you go to my video, I'll show you guys that part for anyone who didn't watch it. But I was just saying, like, I kind of looked at the whole thing a little bit differently now. Like if we go view your channel and we go to here. Out the logo's creator. Right. Right here, right here. Remember Drake's Duppy freestyle when he dissed Pusha T and Kanye? And I started thinking about this line a little bit differently.
You send shots, well, I gotta challenge those. But I bring Calicos to the Alamo. I could never have a Virgil in my circle and hold him back.
This is a pretty crazy visual, too, like where I put this in here. Like, I could never have a Virgil in my circle and hold him back because he makes me nervous. Because it's the fact that, like, you know, Calico, right after he talks about Calico, or he mentions the word Calico, he says this, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's probable that this happened to Calico, because like, why did he never had a single, bro. He never had a single. He never had an album. I couldn't find that he had a mixtape. So I think that's pretty compelling. Like you know,
He makes me nervous.
Then, you know, about this line a little bit differently.
You send shots, well, I gotta challenge those. But I bring Calicos to the Alamo. I could never have a Virgil in my circle and hold him back because he makes me nervous.
Then, because that footage I just showed there was actual footage of Calico in the studio with Hove. Then they post a Duppy ring. But is this the first time this is the first time we saw this visual, right? Was from Duppy. Okay, we got to listen to Duppy. We got to listen to Duppy right now. Duppy freestyle. I'm going to end up having to take this, edit a video after, or edit the stream because I'll get flagged. Like one day before the album comes out, OVO Sound, this is not like a Twitter fan account. This is not some stan page. This is the official label of Drake. As it's his label. It's his page, bro. It's the official. Wait a minute. Let me see. I'm just trying to see, like, because, you know, Ye made beats for Hove. Ye, obviously he's talking to Pusha T, but at the same time, obviously, you know, Ye came up under Jay-Z.
On a couple of
Pop Star, like, wasn't Jay-Z supposed to be on Pop Star? Yeah, the original version of Pop Star featured Jay-Z and Ye. Right? Didn't Drake take him off of it? Wait, this is the OG version, or is Hove on it? No, he's not on it, right? Didn't Drake take Hove off of it? Like, there's only like a really small. Now I'm looking at Duppy and thinking about Jay-Z a little bit, whereas I never looked at it that way before, right? No, not Duppy. It's Pop Star, right? Pop Star, Jay-Z.
lifestyle. Tell my man I try my feel like they want a lake.
They don't get it. I cannot be gotten, that's a given.
They like Pablo.
Was Jay-Z always on it, chat? He's on it, right? He took both off because the Jay-Z verse was. Didn't he take them off it, or am I tripping? It was because of the title situation. The album version's Drake, right? Back when Ye and yes, he took them. Yes, got took off. Ye's got took off. Let me listen to the actual version, because I can't remember off top.
birthday. Yeah, all I God come away. They still out, even though I got he looking. I decide we never got me.
Nah, he took him off it. They were originally on it, and he took him off it. It's crazy, too, like where he says, you're not even top 5 as far as your label talent goes. I never even included that part in it. You're not even top 5 as far as your label talent goes, but I bring Calicos to the Alamo. I can never have a Virgil in my circle and hold back because he made me nervous. Like that connects too, because the dude was on, look, like my guy Mars actually found that image of Hove, right here. And he's got the he's got the Rockefeller chain on, man, like back then. I didn't even see this photo, man. Where's it at? Right here. This is Calico, bro. He's got like the chain on. He got the chain on. Like only certain people get the chain. But yet he's only under Get Low Records, right? He's only under Get Low Records with Memphis Bleak. But he got the, look at the chain he got on. So then when I think about this, bro, like that line, I should have included the first part of it, you know? Chat, listen, like there's a reason why Calico showed up in Drake's Zine. There's a reason why it comes back to this guy. There's a reason why that guy is under the Rockefeller umbrella. There's a reason why that guy disappeared and there's nothing about him. Those are all valid connections. I think so. Anyway, I think those are all valid connections. But that's crazy that they posted that. That's really crazy that OVO Sound posted that. That's definitely interesting. 5 from Michael Jackson. But isn't Drake using a different part of the system, i.e. Irving, Azoff, and Oakview Group? Same machine, different factions? Well, I think if you look at Oakview Group, I believe he's largely independent. Like Tillman Freeman, or Fertitta, sorry. I think he built most of his enterprise as a one-man band. Now, obviously, yeah, I think it's part of the machine, but when Drake talks about the machine for the music business, I think he's talking about the 3 main labels, right? Warner, Sony, and UMG. Like, you can go with any 3 of these labels. They're all the same. They all treat artists the same way. They were all set up and built based on how the system was built 100 years ago, even longer. So what Larry Jackson is doing, like you could say the same about Larry Jackson. You could be like, well, he's a corporation, like he's building a label, but the way he's setting it up is to rival what these 3 are doing. Like, so, you know, if they do it differently and if Drake wants to help do it differently, I think that is going against that machine, right? 72 cents from Side 5200. Thank you, bro. Thank you. No Bias Media with the 5. Bro, why you ain't do a deep dive on Screwstein, Kel's beef, Iceman? Got everybody imploding. Yeah, straight up, eh? Thank you, bro. Corey Nelson, thanks for the sub. Side with another 72 cents. Thank you. Yay, Sean. Doug with the subscription. Thank you. Let me see here. 216 from Lines Tap. Great video. My God, what's the full zine breakdown? When is it? Well, I just talked about it, bro. I'm not going to be able to get it out in time for the album. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible. $2 from JXV88. The only FT I want on Iceman feature is Adonis dissing Kendrick. Yeah, I think Future's on it. I do think you're going to see Future. Wood Tab with the sub. Geico with the sub. Miniz Cole HD with the sub. Thank you very much. $5 from Michael Jackson again. Is Drake working with Irving, Azoff, and Oakview, a group part of this? I think I just answered that one. King Q, thank you for the sub. McGraw Music Reviews with another 2. Thank you, bro. On Pusha T's birthday, too. Wow. Is today's Pusha T's birthday? When's Pusha T's birthday? Ah, that is interesting. Because that is as far as it went, right? Duppy Freestyle was like that's the last thing we really got from Drake. Because then after that, Pusha T dropped his info about Drake having the hidden child. Now, my theory on where Pusha got that info, Pusha said he got it from 40. Drake thinks he got it from Ye. It could have came from the label. It could have came from Drake's label at the time, right? That's possible too. It very well could have. King Q, thank you for the sub. Queens get the money with the 5. I feel like this will be Drake's last album, and let this rap die like rock did in the 2000s. Nah, I don't think so, bro. No, I don't think this is going to be Drake. Drake got more projects coming, man. At the same time, at what point do you stop? At what point do you look and say, I am the biggest artist of all time. I just beat MJ's record. I'm going down as one of the greatest artists to ever live. When am I going to relax? When am I content? That's a question that needs to be asked. I do think that Drake is tired of playing that game, for sure. It's interesting to think about. Why not T.O. to 256? What does Kenny think if he knows Nokia meaning? It could be at Kendrick or it could be at someone else, right? 8 months of membership. Please teach Ak how to search the video transcripts. Iceman on the way. Yeah, I see Ak and he tries to find he'll have a 4-hour video and he's trying to find that specific spot when they might have talked about Drake or whatever he's looking for. And yeah, YouTube does have that transcript where you could just search it. I found that out from researching videos. That's how I learned about that. 5 from Sir Canadian Cuss II. Someone in chat also pointed out Push using Jay's beat to respond. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He did. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I never thought about that. That's very true. He used Story of Adidon. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. Yeah, so Jay-Z sent this to Pusha T. Or someone from his camp. This instrumental, right? This instrumental. Hove. Who was the producer behind that? That's off 444. 444 Jay-Z. It is under the Story of OJ, right? Story of OJ. Who produced that? No ID and Jay-Z. No ID and Jay-Z. I mean, Pusha was pretty close with No ID as well. So he probably got it from him. Maybe. Either way, I'm sure he had to clear it with the big guy before using it.
Ocho. The spider joint.
This tells me that Hove didn't mind at all being associated with this part of Drake's story. Because if you were really cool with Drake, that's like me. That's like someone using a piece of my video to tear down one of my content. That's like someone using a piece of my video that I'm cool with to make a larger video about academics and destroying academics and hitting me up and being like, "Yo, can I use this clips of you? I'm taking down Ak with this shit." And me saying, "Yeah, go ahead." That's kind of what this is.
And we gotta.
That's interesting too. That's a really good thing to point out. Someone in chat. So shout out to someone who made that connection. I forgot about that. $2 from Nuggets. May 13th is Pusha T's birthday. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to get pretty wild. Like the fact that OVO Sound would post the Duppy freestyle on Pusha's birthday one day before the album and one day after I mentioned Duppy freestyle. And that line, that's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. No doubt. Ace of Spades 88, thank you for the sub. Let me see here. Mystic with the 20, thank you so much, bro, for the support. Drake requested only Ye to do a feature on Pop Style. When Ye worked on it, Jay found out and got the song, and instead of sending it back to Drake as featuring Kanye and Jay-Z, it was featuring The Throne, Big Shade. Yeah, so there was, like, back then, it's safe to say that there's been this tension boiling over between Drake and Jay-Z for quite some time. And there's a bigger story there that we don't know about, I think. But, you know, you hear people say all the time, like, Jay-Z is actually Drake's biggest op. There might be some truth to that. $2 from History. OVO Sound, last post, nothing bigger, last pick. Yeah, we just looked at that. That is absolutely wild. $7 from Ratellia. You the GOAT with these breakdowns and going against Machine. Your breakdowns are changing the rap game piece by piece. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely try and do the best. I put a lot into it, so I appreciate that. Jason Fertia, thank you for the sub. Michael Jackson, $2. Do you think Drake is going to smoke Ye? No. Nah, I don't. Honestly, I think there's a bigger possibility of Drake teaming up with Ye at this point than him going at Ye. I think there's a better chance of him teaming up with Ye, personally. $2 from Queens Get the Money. At least one more R&B album. I think we'll be pleasantly surprised with the amount of music that Drake starts to drop when he's done with this label. And the features he does and the shit. I think you're going to see Drake go right back to what he used to do. Doing features for people, getting the game hot, dropping music constantly, putting out bangers. Like, I think he's going to do all that. Like, the minute he leaves the label, that switch is going to be turned back on. That's my opinion. Trevor Zaliski with the 5. Thank you, bro. Drake also didn't drop the Respond to Push's diss track because Jay Prince, Jay-Z's buddy, said not to. Yeah, I mean, there's more of a connection between Jay Prince and Drake than Jay-Z and Jay Prince, probably. But yeah, he did say that. Right? So what do you guys think? Like, I find this really interesting they posted this, bro. Play Camp Low Feeling It and Sparks. Give it to me. I can't right now, actually, because we're actually renting this house. We're renting this house where we don't own the house. And the seller, we just found out that they're selling the house. So now people got to come over. Like, now people want to come over and look at the house with the realtor. So I got like 30 minutes before someone comes into the house. And I just got to make sure everything kind of looks like I just don't want to have Red Bull cans and stuff around. Like, I kind of got to clean it up a bit. My girl will be pissed if I don't. Like, I think I also left some dishes in the sink. So I got to actually do that. Because my girl's not home right now. But, yo, I'll be on again later. I'm going to be on again later tonight. For sure. This is really interesting. So I thank you to everyone for the support, too. It means a lot. Jay-Z is not on the album. I'm going to say there's a 99.9% chance that Jay-Z is not on the album. I'm going to say that much. But yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to Daryl with the $2. Thank you. You say Dirt's a Slav? I'm not a slob, but like like before I came out streaming, I had some macaroni and cheese, and I just left the dish in the sink. But my girl would be pissed if I left that there. Like I got to put it in the dishwasher, and I got a couple Red Bull cans here too. Like I gotta clean up a little bit. Big archive, man. More super chats coming in. 269 from Cameron Robin. Big archives latest on Nina Ross, Rick Ross connection. Nah, I don't think so, bro, because they've been going for a minute. But I do think Drake knows. I think Drake knows who runs this page. I think he knows. Man, there's super chats pouring in. I can't get off yet. I gotta answer these questions. But okay, so what was the last thing they posted? Like, you see what I'm saying, though, chat. All of these records are all Memphis, Tennessee rappers. All of them. And then we got this one, and it's a Brooklyn rapper. It was only posted 1 month ago, and that picture's in Drake's zine. It's interesting, to say the least. Nina Ross 365. Nina Ross. She's not from Memphis either. What? She's from Florida. What's this?
This is for New York,
Yes.
California,
Yes.
Texas,
Get 'em up.
Georgia,
Get 'em
and all
up
the
right
states
now.
in New York.
Guess what?
And that's how we do it into the sea.
But what we drinking now? What we smoking now? What we poking now?
Hennessy, hydro, sexual tendency. I smoke weed like a nervous man with cigarettes. Hoping
Black Pearl. I thought everything on here is from Memphis, though, except now there's this. Oh, maybe the features, though. Chris Kane and John Hurricane. Yeah, that's what it is.
Two killing them from the front to the back. Reach
Yeah, you could tell that's from that area, right? I think this is just a random post. I don't think it has anything to do with Rick Ross. It probably need a little bit more digging, but I think that's the only post I think that Drake had a part in having uploaded. 365 from Eddie Holmes. The CN Tower turns 50 this year. Did you see the projected ice blocks on it the other day? Yeah, so we got some ice blocks on CN Tower. Ice blocks on the CN Tower. How cool is that, man? I mean, you got to give it to Drake's team, man. They're doing a lot of really creative things. Like, this is really creative. This is really different, man. Like this has been a very different and unique rollout. He's definitely achieved his goal of doing things different. We got to give him that. That's really cool. This is what Drake's Dream Crew company thrives for, though. They love doing things like this. They love, the tour designs and, like, how can we make Drake's replica Ferrari fly in the air? They use, like, that turned out to be a drone that someone controlled, but it was like a 1-to-1. It looked exactly like Drake's car, right? So they made that, they love doing shit like this. So that they're really great at this. You could see, like, even doing something like this would take quite some time. CN Tower is really cool, eh? Really cool landmark. 20 from Turf Therapy. Thank you, bro. I hope you hit 1 million subs this summer off the boys' Stimmy Pack, homie. I don't really look at it in subs too much, but it would be nice to hit 1 million subs one day. Hopefully one day, right? I'm just excited for the fact that I think for like the foreseeable future and like all summer, I think Drake is going to be giving us a lot of content and things to make content about. So for a channel like mine, who's very Drake-centric, I think it's going to be a good summer for me, for sure. And I feel like I feel like the channel is starting to have a little bit of a moment again. Like, it was kind of got dark at some periods, but it feels. I've been waking up every morning feeling really energized and good, so it's dope. $2 from History. Wait, did we check OVO sound? Eyes for nothing bigger? Nah, I don't know. I don't know about that. $1.46 from Eddie Holmes. Thank you for that, bro. 5 from McGraw Music again. That's the Humble Kendrick sample. Which one's the Humble Kendrick sample? 5 from Handle with Clarity. Jay took Feeling It from Camp Low, and they have talked about it, and you can hear Sparks talk about Jay, taking Give It to Me, Kanye, Lucifer, etc. Yeah. No, there's definitely something going on there, man. Definitely something going on there. But, I do have to hop out because the realtor's going to be here in like the next 20 minutes.